We spend a lot of our lives dwelling on the past and planning for the future. But how much time do you spend living in the present? It's interesting that when we think about the future, anxiety can be triggered. When we think about the past, we can feel depressed. But when we focus on the present moment, it's actually impossible to feel anxiety or depression. Hello and welcome. This is the Mission Happy Lab, a place where happiness skills and practices are explored and developed. I'm Kathleen, and I'm a happiness educator. The learning series is called Choosing Happy, and today we'll be discussing mindfulness. Mindfulness is generally defined as non-judgmental awareness of or purposefully paying attention in the present moment. It's about stopping the whirlwind of thoughts that fill your mind and taking a moment to consciously quiet down. Mindfulness is a way to get us out of our reactive mind and those patterns that can keep you racing from one thought to the next. It is recognizing feelings without becoming caught up in them, identifying yourself as who you truly are, not with your feelings and mistakes, living more in the moment, less in the future or past, and a way to cultivate happiness anyone and everyone has access to. It's also important to note that mindfulness is not emptying the mind or stopping thinking. It's also not a relaxation technique, although that might happen as a byproduct. It's not an escape from our personality, as it actually reveals to us our personality. Also, it is not licensed to live without planning, as you can certainly plan in a mindful way, just as you can learn mindfully from the past. We often associate mindfulness with meditation, and yes, meditation can be a very effective tool in the quest for mindfulness, but the fact of the matter is, you can practice mindfulness almost any time, almost anywhere you go. For our purposes here, I'm going to intentionally avoid in-depth discussion of meditation in this episode, as I think it might just deserve more attention in a future episode. Instead, I will focus on other day-to-day ways that we might learn to experience mindfulness. It can be confusing to figure out just what exactly we mean when we say we need to be more mindful. But it doesn't need to be so daunting. You just need to find little breaks during the day and maybe get a little creative. And if you're not the creative type, we'll explore some super simple techniques to get the job done. As a first step, I think it's important to find out why mindfulness is important to our personal well-being and what its benefits are. Get ready, because it's a pretty big list. Let's start with thinking skills. And in this category, you will see better memory, quicker reaction times, better mental stamina, enhanced intuition, better concentration, quicker mental processing, enhanced brain function, and better decision making. If happiness and fulfillment is what you're after, mindfulness offers more self-confidence, higher self-esteem, better relationships, more enjoyment out of leisure activities, better focus on goals, more satisfaction from work, and release of full potential. Sign me up for some of that. As we all work toward better health and well-being, it's worth noting that mindfulness helps here as well, as it offers reduced stress, relief from depression, reduced levels of anxiety, reduced levels of pain, better sleep, a stronger immune system, improved heart and circulatory health, reduced fatigue, and better control over addictions or self-destructive behavior. Finally, let's have a look at self-awareness and life skills, because mindfulness really does wonders here as well. Better self-knowledge, improved mastery of emotions, better communication, increased empathy, better listening skills, more emotional intelligence, better self-reliance, more effective public speaking, increased resilience in adversity, all made better with mindfulness. Even if you find that you don't love practicing mindfulness, you might want to do it anyway with benefits like these. Okay, I think that sufficiently explains why we would pursue mindfulness. Now let's figure out how. As promised, we're going to explore various simple ways to feel more mindful without focusing on proper meditation. There are a bunch of things that you can do every day without much fuss or needing much time. If we're starting with the basics, I might suggest a very simple introductory activity that anyone can do with great success. Sit down at a table with a small object in front of you. A cup, mug, glass, a salt shaker, anything handy will do. Now look closely at the object for a few minutes, taking in everything about it you can see, without touching it or moving it. Just think of what it looks like without judging its appearance or use. Shift your focus to your sensations. Remaining still, close your eyes and be aware of any physical sensations, like places where your body touches your clothes and where you feel pressure from the chair or the floor. Spend a few minutes focusing on what you can hear. It might just be the sound of your own breathing, the hum of the fluorescent lights, or nature sounds from an open window. Now look back on what you've just experienced. By focusing on an object, on sensation, and then sounds, you've given yourself a break from your preoccupations. Over time, this can turn into a major source of mental refreshment. That was a great start. Now let's explore some other ideas that can be easily worked into your day. Food can make us either happy or sad. One chocolate chip cookie is wonderful. The whole package can be depressing. Do you ever find yourself eating for comfort, yet the more you eat, the more distressed you become? Next time you notice yourself eating for comfort, take your time and eat slowly. Enjoy each bite and savor it. Try setting aside a few minutes to simply eat a food that you particularly like, with no interruptions from kids, coworkers, television, or smartphones. Take a slow, mindful bite. Chew several times and swallow mindfully. Take your time to really experience and enjoy your food. Pay attention to each distinct flavor, each different texture or mouthfeel, and the way it feels against your teeth. Eating mindfully not only brings comfort and happiness, but also means we require far less food as we feel satisfied more quickly. For a very long time, we as a culture have bought into the idea that multitasking is the most efficient way to be productive. Now that you know what you know, you may have already guessed that multitasking might not be so great for our cognitive emotional well-being. Single tasking is the new buzzword getting attention, and for good reason, as experts are now leaning into the idea that focusing on one thing at a time is a much better way to do things. Mantras have been used for thousands of years as a way to help reduce stress and enhance a sense of mindfulness. A mantra can be a word, syllable, a phrase, or sound that is repeated several times as a way to help you connect and feel the energy within and around you. Choose whatever phrase, word, or sound that you are drawn to. You may even want to pick something that's healing and empowering, but also short and easy to remember. When was the last time you went for a walk outside? For no real reason but to experience the walk. There are a ton of reasons to do this, including exercise, fresh air, and vitamin D. But there's a real opportunity for mindfulness in this type of walk as well. Practice walking mindfully by taking slow, deliberate steps and tuning into the sensations in your body. Take a few minutes to scan your body from head to toe. Notice any areas of tension or discomfort and consciously relax those muscles. If your walk happens to be in nature, pay attention to the sights, sounds, and smells of the natural world around you. Let it remind you that life is so much bigger than the moment you're in. Focus on the birds chirping, the wind through the trees, the sun on your face, and perhaps the sound of water. Stop and sit a moment, maybe take off your shoes to feel the ground beneath your feet. Inhale deeply through your nose to take in nature's unique set of smells as well. Remember to be grateful for it all. Focusing on what you're grateful for can help draw you away from a stressful situation and make you feel calmer. When you deliberately focus on the blessings of the present moment and notice what's good, your whole outlook shifts to be more positive. Make a list. You know I love a good list of 5 to 10 things you feel grateful for. It can be as simple as being grateful for that cup of coffee you had this morning, or as big as feeling like your work today was fulfilling and purposeful. Actively focusing on different areas of your body, from your feet to your face, helps increase awareness of your body and can reduce stress and tension. As you watch this video, connect with your body. Notice where your legs and arms are and the position of your spine. Inwardly scan your body from head to toe. Notice the sensations in your head, chest, arms, abdomen, legs, and if there are parts of your body or sensations within it that you dislike, notice how you try to avoid them. I encourage you at the end of this episode to close your eyes and do this for 30 seconds. Notice what happens. You can also do much the same thing with your breath. As you watch this, notice your breathing. Notice the rise and fall of your rib cage and the air moving in and out of your nostrils. Follow the air in and out through your nose. Notice how your lungs expand. Feel your abdomen push outward. Follow the air back out as your lungs deflate. Again, I encourage you to try this for 30 seconds after the video and observe what happens. Don't forget, most of these are great exercises to do with the kids too. Whether you are a parent, an educator, or someone who works with children, including them is great for everyone involved. It fosters togetherness, great habits, improves cognitive development, and by starting these practices so young, it might even stick. So here's the bottom line as I see it. Experts say that you don't necessarily need to thoroughly understand how mindfulness benefits your well-being, just that it does, and that's every reason to do it. Don't question it. You do see the irony in questioning mindfulness, don't you? Start small. It all works, and the more you add to your practice, the better you will inevitably feel long term. You just have to stick with it. If you find you're craving more, you might try meditation or yoga, as they are very effective and more intensive examples of mindfulness. You do you. So we've reached the end of this episode, and I hope that I've inspired you to try some of the activities that were explained here. Remember that you don't have to be good at it or even like it for mindfulness to be effective. Please like, share, and subscribe as it helps broaden our reach. Be kind to each other. Thanks for joining me, and I hope I'll see you again in another episode of Choosing Happy.